Just love learning about things. Now the next, so that's the we'll dress them up. Okay, so we understand what the narrator knows, who the narrator is, all that sort of thing. So for the next line, for the it'll teach him how to fight. Now this it is very ambiguous. What is it referring to in this case? Is it referring to being dressed warmly? I think that's a possibility, We'll dress him up warmly, it'll teach him how to fight, which frankly is understandable because I know that whenever I get very warm, I also get very annoyed. I am not a warm temperature kind of person. I prefer the cold. Today it's raining out. I really like rain. I love rain. Is that kind of weird? Maybe, perhaps it is. However, I still enjoy it. Also, I am so sorry if the volume of this thing is bouncing all over the place. I am doing my best here. It's the first week of programming. I'm sure there's a lot of shows that the volume is bouncing all around for. Very exciting stuff. All right. So, yes, so as I was saying, it'll teach him how to fight. What's teaching him how to fight? Being warm could be teaching him how to fight. And, I get that. In high school, my dad would pick me up from school, and I'm from Massachusetts, by the way. So, it gets cold. Ohioans, we have something in common. It gets cold in the winter, and that is something that Ohio and Massachusetts have in common, and many other states, but we're not talking about those states right now. And my dad would pick me up from high school, and he would have the heat on full blast in his car, and he'd be wearing his warm winter jacket and a coat, and then I would come out from school in just a t-shirt, and I'd be like, "Can we turn down the heat? It's too hot in the car." And my dad thought that was ridiculous, and perhaps it is. However, I think I run warm, so I need the cold to come from outside of me. Yes. Another thing that we learned from this line, from being dressed warmly, is that the parents are very overprotective because, I was just talking about Ohio and Massachusetts and how it gets cold in the winter, but most of the school year, it's not that cold. We've got the fall. That's relatively warm. That I wouldn't describe that as cold. You don't need to dress them up warmly for that. And then in the spring, again, very hot. Very, very warm, especially if you're on the top floor of the school, like I was in elementary school, and they don't have great air conditioning in that school. Then it's really going to be warm, and you don't want to be dressed warmly because then you'll be too warm and then you'll be overheating. And no one wants to be overheating. That's not fun. Okay. Yes. So, the parents are very overprotective in this song. And also, we're going to add another state. We're going to talk about another state. The other state is California. This singer, Andrew Gold, he is from California. It's warm in California. Their winters get to 50 and they're like, "Oh, it's freezing." But it's not freezing. It's California. What I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what to say in general. This is a very strange radio show that you've tuned into. That's your fault. You're the one tuning into it. So that's one thing that it could be referring to in "It'll teach him how to fight" in that line. Another thing that the it could be referring to is the school. And I just have to say, what does that say about the state of our education system? The school will teach this boy how to fight. Now, I know that this was in the 50s, he was born in the 50s and then he went to school, presumably also in the 50s. However, we are going to use the word however. However, I'm saying so many times, and I would like to apologize for that. So, I'm sorry. What does this say about our schools? Especially this is an elementary school that this guy is in. This isn't a high school. You hear about fights in school and you think high school. But this is elementary school that we're talking about here. And that is bananas. Absolutely bananas. Unless this is actually like a martial arts school that he's going to, like karate. Well, I mean, it'd be called a dojo, or at least for karate, it would be called a dojo. I don't know about other martial arts. I don't know if Taekwondo calls it a dojo. I don't know if Kung Fu, that's another one. I literally had to think of the movie Kung Fu Panda to remember Kung Fu. That, oh my goodness. So yes, Kung Fu. I don't know if they call it a dojo. I have no idea. Yes. And then finally, for the last line, to be nobody's fool. The last line that we're analyzing, not the last line overall, obviously. To be nobody's fool. Well, this is... I think that the singer, that the writer, made a mistake here. Because nobody's fool, nobody is Odysseus. And, maybe Andrew Gold... Well, supposedly this song isn't autobiographical, but, you would think that maybe Andrew Gold would know that nobody is Odysseus if he actually went to a school that wasn't a martial arts school, and his parents didn't, dress him so warmly that he just felt like he had to fight all the time. That's what I think. All right, now that we've finally gotten through the first song, it is time to listen to a second song. Get ready to listen to a second song. And here we go. All right. Whoop. That was really loud. I would like to apologize for that. I am so sorry about this. Yes, volume truly is not my strong point here. That was Je ne me connais pas by Mattiel. That's who it was by. I knew that. They're one of my favorite artists. I don't know why I paused like that. Anyways, what am I going to say about Je ne me connais pas? Well, let us look at the main lyrics. Let's look at, the main caboodle, the main thing, the main shindig, if you will. So, Je ne me connais pas. Now, supposedly, this song is in French. I don't know what French is, so we're going to analyze this not in French. Je ne... So, let's... The first sounds that you hear are je ne. Now, what does that sound like? Did you say it sounds like the name Jenny? Then you are correct. It does sound like the name Jenny. In fact, it is the name Jenny. Which therefore means that Jenny, this song is clearly talking about my friend, Jennifer. I have a friend named Jennifer. She does not go to Oberlin. We are in Oberlin, by the way. Right now, currently, we're in Oberlin. How are you enjoying? Well, maybe you're not in Oberlin. Maybe you're in, Illyria or something. I don't know how far this radio goes to. Does it go to Illyria? I feel like probably. Illyria is right next door. If this didn't go to Illyria, our transmitter wouldn't be very good. Again, I am hoping that the transmitter is on. I truly have no idea. I have no way of knowing. I think it is, because I can hear myself in the headphones, and I can hear the songs that I play, when the songs are playing. But honestly, I have no idea. It's very exciting. It's not exciting. It's kind of stressful, actually. But we can pretend that it is exciting. I could be talking to nobody right now. Who knows? I have no idea. Do you have any idea? I have no idea. All right, so Jenny. We were talking about Jenny. Now, my friend Jennifer does not go by Jenny. I've met some people that do go by Jenny, including one person when I was very little who's went by Jenny with a G, because her Jenny was short for Guinevere, not for Jennifer. The more you know. Isn't it so much fun to learn exciting facts? I think yes. Yes, it is. What else were we talking about? Oh, yeah, so Jenny. This is about my friend Jenny. All right, the rest of the line. Me connais pas. So, this is a little bit... Oh, I said I was going to drink water during the song, and I didn't do that. I am so sorry, everybody. You're going to have to listen to my unwatered voice for a little bit longer. I'm so sorry. I was a little bit stressed during the song. I've been a little bit stressed for almost half an hour now. Yes, so mekone pa. What does this sound like? Did you say make on a par? Then you are correct. Now a par, well, you might be saying to yourself, now, pa does not sound like par. However, as I said earlier, I am from Massachusetts, so pa actually does sound like par. So make on a par, talking about golf here. Anyone in the audience play golf? Do you play golf? I don't play golf. I've played mini golf a couple times at like people's birthday parties in elementary school. Literally two birthday parties. Maybe it was only one birthday party even. I think it was two. Not for my friend Jennifer. I mean, I didn't know my friend Jennifer in elementary school, so obviously not my friend Jennifer's birthday parties that I was playing mini golf at. And I was bad at mini golf. Although I think at one time I did get a hole-in-one, but I could be wrong about that. I was a little bit confused, even when it was happening. I think that's the theme of today, is being a little bit confused. Because, in that last song, too, in Lonely Boy, again with the you-knows, I'm so sorry, everybody. But, I did it again. It's even worse than the likes. Then, well, do you know? You know. I'm just gonna say everything as you know from now on, because, Is this joke getting old? I'm so sorry, everybody. As I was saying, make on a par. What? Or a pa. Gotta bring the Massachusetts in here somehow. Make on a par. It's talking about golf. Now, since this song is already about my friend Jennifer, I reached out to her. I was like, hey, Jennifer, I'm going to be talking about this song. I'm going to be analyzing it. Do you know anything about Make on a Par? Because I'm pretty sure this song is about you. And she was like, that doesn't sound really like me. And I was like, no, it is about you. And she said, well, Make on a Par, that's golf. And I said, yes, I know that it's golf. Have you ever played golf? And she said no. So that wasn't helpful. Because, I need someone to play golf. Someone here needs to have played golf. I do live in Massachusetts, that is. My parents, we live near a golf course. And sometimes we walk on the golf course, especially my parents. Because, they like walking around. Parents like walking around, I feel like. They say that they like sitting still, but actually, they like walking around. That's my opinion. Is that they actually like walking around. And so they do that. Now, another thing to note about this song is that there are a lot of references to Texas. In the first stanza, yeah, that's the right word. In the first stanza, we have, I'm a Lone Star Man. That's a lyric. The lyric says, I'm a Lone Star Man. That's talking about Texas, the Lone Star State. It's only got one star. You'd think maybe they want, maybe 5 stars. I feel like that's usually a thing that people want. They don't want to be a 1-star hotel. They want to be a 5-star hotel. But, Texas, they're going for the 1-star hotel. Someone has to do it. So they're a Lone Star Man. We're talking about Texas here. And then, other lines such as, not my rodeo. I think they have rodeos in Texas. I don't know. I've never been to Texas. I applied to a college in Texas. I did not get in. I wouldn't have gone there even if I had gotten in. Because again, I don't like the heat. And Texas is hot. That's my understanding, is that Texas is hot. So I wouldn't have gotten along very much there. But they have rodeos in Texas, I'm pretty sure. And then, get kicked right off of my high horse. That's another lyric. And, that's another thing. Get kicked right off of my high horse. Horses are in rodeos. Also in radios. Did you know that? But they're in my high horse. They have high horses in rodeos. Isn't that exciting? By the way, this is WOBC FM 91.5 Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen F. Stotheu, and this is Analyze, the show where I analyze songs and I don't misinterpret them, not even a little bit. Also, guess what? What? It's time for a PSA. Yay, I love PSAs. I am so glad that you love PSAs. Ready? Get ready to hear a PSA. And sorry for me clearing my throat. Oberlin, this is from the Oberlin Heritage Center. Oberlin is a small town with big stories. The Oberlin Heritage Center provides a variety of themed history walks and historic building tours that feature stories of abolition and the Underground Railroad. Sorry, I messed that up. Firsts in education and equality, unique architecture and landmarks, and ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Call 440-774-1700 or visit oberlinheritage.org. So that is the Oberlin Heritage Center. Do you like the Oberlin Heritage Center? Why do I keep asking questions? You don't really have a way to respond. I mean, you do technically have a way to respond. You could call on the phone, but no one really likes talking on the phone, do they? I don't like talking on the phone, but maybe you could tell that about me from this whole shebangle that has been happening. What else are we going to talk about? I don't even know. I know what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about the next song that we are going to be listening to. Don't you love listening to new songs? I sure do. And, okay. We're going to listen to another song. Are you ready to listen to another song? I'm ready to listen to another song, and I promise that this time I will actually drink some water. And here we go. That was Boys Will Be Bugs by Cavetown. That is one person, Cavetown, I think. I always find it so interesting when people go by names that aren't their names as their names for things that need names, like singers. Anyways, as I was saying, that was Boys Will Be Bugs by Cavetown. I just repeated myself. Also, there are some rubber ducks in here, and they're adorable. And I just thought you should know that. You're getting a peek into behind the curtain of this radio show. Well, not necessarily this radio show, but this radio station. Because the show is just a part of the station. I hope I'm talking loud enough-ish. I don't even know what's happening. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, that was Boys Will Be Bugs by Cavetown. That is the third time I've said that now, which means that Cavetown will now appear behind me. So, are boys bugs? That's the real question that this song raises for me. Are boys bugs? Now, believe it or not, I have met some boys in my lifetime, all 19 years. I have met boys. Isn't that shocking? And, I didn't think that they were bugs. I don't know, though. Maybe they were bugs. Maybe they were secretly bugs. Maybe. This song really is Kafka-esque. You know what I mean? Just so Kafka-esque. Am I saying that correctly? Kafka-esque. Kafka-esque. Yeah. And Metamorphosis-esque. I don't think... Well, actually, yes. I do think that this is Kafka-esque and Metamorphosis-esque. We are great at talking over here at the WOBC station. So, are the boys bugs? That's the real question here. Now, let's look at the criteria of a bug. The criteria to be a bug is that you need to have an exoskeleton. You need to have 6 legs. I don't think you have to have antenna. Maybe you do have to. I'm pretty sure, actually, because I watched A Bug's Life a lot of times as a kid. I really loved that movie. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in that movie has antenna. So therefore, clearly, you must need antenna to be a bug. So we've got 3 things that we can look at. The exoskeleton, the 6 legs, and the antenna. Now, do boys have all those things to be considered bugs? I don't think so. I mean, okay. Well, let's start with the exoskeleton. One could make the argument, and I won't. In fact, I'm going to be the one to make that argument. This is not the amorphous one who will be making this argument. I shall be the one making this argument. The one. One. Yes. So I am the one. I am the chosen one. And I say that clothes are exoskeletons. Now, not all clothes, but some clothes. Shoes, for example, certainly exoskeletons, because they're hard for the most part. That's the thing about exoskeletons. I learned this at a summer camp when I was little. The way you tell if you have an exoskeleton or an endoskeleton, I promise I drank water. I drank water during that song, and still, my throat will not cooperate with me. How rude is that of my throat to do that to me? As I was saying, what I learned at summer camp when I was little is that to tell if you have an exoskeleton or an endoskeleton, which is the opposite of an exoskeleton, you step on the thing. So, if you have an exoskeleton, you will go crunch squish. If you have an endoskeleton, you will go squish crunch. And I think that shoes, and definitely some types of jackets, for example, my rain jacket, goes crunch. Or not really crunch, but like a shush, like a kush kind of noise. Kind of like static on a TV. Kirsch. Isn't that fun? Kirsch. I love that. Kirsch. Like a kirsch. If you don't like noises, I'd like to apologize for all the noises that I'm making. Which is what I'm told every time that I talk, is that I'm making noises. Sorry, again. I've apologized so many times during this show. I was about to say it again just now. However, I won't. I will be strong. So, for jackets and shoes, and there are definitely, shirts or, pants that make that type of noise. They go crunch. Also, if the person is wearing, if this hypothetical boy that we are talking about, has a lot of hair gel in his hair, then that would probably go crunch too. So if you were to step on a boy, he would probably go crunch squish, not squish crunch, which means the boys do in fact have exoskeletons. Did you know that? I knew that, and now you know that too. The second thing is 6 legs. 6 legs. Do boys have 6 legs? Now here is where we might have to concede that boys are in fact not bugs. However, let's take a look at it first. So, legs. I think that arms can be legs. I've decided arms can be legs. In the animal kingdom, do they discriminate between arms and legs? No, they don't. They walk on all of them, all the time, pretty much, I think. Maybe gorillas don't, but that's because they're gorillas. So, but I think if we are counting arms as legs, then I think that we also need to count fingers and toes as legs. So that means that the average boy would have 24 legs. 24 legs. Now, is 24 more than 6? Yes, it is. And in the defining of bugs, they don't say if it has to be at only 6 legs. They don't say 6 legs, no more, no less. They just say 6 legs. So I think that more than 6 legs counts as 6 legs. There are at least 6 legs on a boy. If you include all of the things that can be counted as legs, including fingers and toes, because if we're counting arms as legs, then fingers and toes must also be counted as legs. So, that's the second thing out of the way. So, 2 for 2, boys are bugs. Boys are in fact bugs. So, what was the third? Oh, the antenna. The antenna. That's the third thing. This could be what makes or breaks if the boys are bugs or not. So, do boys have antenna? Well, like I said 2 things ago, if they have a lot of hairspray in their hair, hairspray, hair gel, hair mousse, hair clay, that's another thing. You could put clay, or pomade. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Pomade. Maybe pomade. Do you know this? I don't know this. Pomade. I think it's pomade. So if they're using a lot of that, they will be crunchy. However, they could also style it in a way that they please. And that means that they could have 2 little thingies of antenna hair sticking up. Furthermore, are we not all antennas? Because we all stand up. And we're kind of up-shaped. Like we're long. Humans are long. Like an antenna. An antenna are long, which means that we, as people, are antennas. So, boys certainly are bugs. I think that's what we've learned from this song. Boys are bugs. Are girls bugs? I don't know. We might have to take another look at a later date and see if girls are bugs too. However, for right now, this is WOBC FM 91.5 Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen Efstathiou, and this is Analyze, the show where I analyze things. And now it's also time for a PSA. Do you like PSAs? I love PSAs. We're doing 2 PSAs right in a row after the songs. Did that make sense to you? I hope it did. This PSA is from Conversations with Lothrop. I don't know what that is, but we shall learn about it together. Oberlin Heritage Center is happy to share that several more Conversations with Lothrop, interviews of Oberlin community members that have been processed and approved for public viewing. You can watch more than 40 of these interviews on YouTube. Thank you again to Linda Lewis and the Ohio Historical Records and Advisory Board for supporting this project. Well, now we've learned what it is. It's about people from Oberlin and what they do. And isn't that nice? And now we're going to listen to another song. Get ready for this another song. Wait, what song should it be? Okay, yes. I knew what song it was going to be, but now I know for certain which song it's going to be. All right, get ready and go. That was Every Home Should Have a Ghost by Rob Middleton. However, it is not spelled the way that you think it is spelled. Rob is not spelled R-O-B, as you would expect Rob to be spelled. I know that I certainly expect Rob to be spelled R-O-B, in general. However, this Rob spells it R-A-W-B. Okay, yeah, no, you can hear me. I let the song play by accident. The next one. Well, there probably won't be a next one because it's almost the end of the hour. And then another person will be playing different songs. Anyways, Rob Middleton. Interesting spelling of the name. R-A-W-B. I've certainly never heard Rob spelled that way before. Well, I'm not really hearing it spelled. I'm seeing it spelled that way. Because hearing it just sounds like Rob. Rob and Rob, what's the difference between Rob and Rob? It just sounds the same. However, this Rob, it looks different than it sounds, but it still sounds the same. At least I assume it sounds the same. I have no idea. Anyways, every home should have a ghost. Every home should have a ghost. Do you think that every home should have a ghost? Because here's the thing. I don't think that I have ever lived in a home with a ghost. Well, possibly. I don't know. Does my grandparents' home have a ghost? I don't know. It is certainly a creaky house, and I think that creaky houses have ghosts a lot of the time. Because what else are ghosts going to do other than creak around, and I guess scare people? I don't know, because all of my information about ghosts, I don't have any anecdotal information about ghosts. Other people, they might have anecdotal information about ghosts. I do not have anecdotal information about ghosts. All my information about ghosts comes from movies and such and so forth, and so on. So, none of it is anecdotal, but I do it is my understanding that ghosts creak. That is the first sign that you have a ghost in your house, is if things start creaking, I think. Either that, or, according to Ghostbusters, it could just be getting possessed. The first sign is getting possessed, or seeing something. But hearing things and seeing things, as we learned from Rob Middleton's name, are very different things. Did I ever say the title of the song? It's Every Home Should Have a Ghost, if you couldn't tell from that line being repeated very frequently throughout the song. Rob, he needs you to know that every home should have a ghost. That is why he must repeat it so often. Yes, it's very important to know that every home should have a ghost, or it ain't no home at all. Should we analyze the ain't no home at all's part of that lyric, of that line, of this song? Sure, why not? What should we analyze about it? Or there ain't no home at all. Of course, there is obviously the double negative. We could talk about the double negative and how the double negative, in fact, I'm great at talking, or in fact, the double negative makes it a positive. However, I think that a mistake was made in this song. I think that he meant to say, or it is no home at all. Right? Is the opposite of ain't? I'm pretty sure is the opposite of ain't. I think that is the opposite of ain't, and we are going to continue this analysis as if is the opposite of ain't. So, we have every home should have a ghost, or it is no home at all, or it ain't no home at all. I suppose that ain't sounds better. However, for grammatical reasons, in my head, whenever I listen to this song, I shall replace the ain't with is, so that I know that I know what Rob means, and then Rob will know that I know what Rob means. Again, this is Rob, R-A-W-B, not R-O-B, R-A-W-B. I've done 2 PSAs this hour, right? I'm pretty sure I've done 2 PSAs this hour. That's good. That's the number of PSAs that I am supposed to have done. Yes, or every home should have a ghost. You know, it's very difficult to analyze things when you can't look up the lyrics, and you cannot look up the lyrics for every home should have a ghost. You can't look them up. They are not on the internet. I mean, I'm sure they're somewhere on the internet, but they're nowhere that I can find on the internet. Now, why do we think this is? Let's take a look at Rob Middleton on his Spotify profile. Because that is where I listen to music, is on Spotify. Now, let us see. So Rob Middleton has 7 monthly listeners. I'm guessing I'm one of them. My voice just keeps doing these things to me. It just keeps cutting out. It's like radio. It cuts out briefly, sometimes. Anyways, Rob Middleton has 7 monthly listeners. I am certainly one of them, is my guess, even though Every Home Should Have a Ghost is the only song by Rob Middleton that I listen to. I'm going to keep saying Rob Middleton, just because every time I say Rob Middleton, I think of the spelling of his name, of Rob, of R-A-W-B. Is that the name that he was given? Was he given R-A-W-B? Or did he change his name to R-A-W-B? And does being raw have a correlation with being a ghost? Perhaps. Perhaps it does. Who knows? By the way, this is WOBC FM 91.5, Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen Evstathiou, and this has been Analyze. But now, it's the end of the hour. It is 9 o'clock. If you have something that you need to do at 9 o'clock, now you know. It is 9 o'clock. Go do that thing that you need to do at 9 o'clock. And a different radio show is about to begin playing, hopefully, if I don't mess it up. Haha.
Today's topic is Her Song. This is the first of 2 programs of songs with song in the title. Today will be all songs of women, mostly either by name or by occupation. Next week, we'll present a theme of his song. We start with the trio.